Hay un baile muy moderno que le gusta a todo el mundo. Lo bailan en discoteca y las chicas lo vacilan y las muchachas lo bailan y los muchachos lo gozan. El baile del perrito, el baile del perrito, el baile del perrito, todos quieren bailar.
Buenos días o buenas tardes puede ser. Vamos a hablar ahora de ser y estar con los adjetivos. Now we've talked about ser and estar and sus usos generales, their general uses, and I've written those on the board so you can review them again. In general terms, we talk about ser for identidad, origen, hora, posesión, y material, what something's made of. And remember, we talk about estar for lugar, location, and condición. How are you? How are things or condition? Those are our general uses for ser and estar. But we've also said that we use ser and estar very often with adjectives for describing things. Now, generally, when push comes to shove and you're not sure, and I like to have rules of thumb, you've kind of seen me say this a lot. If you're not sure what to do, remember that the one we use most often with adjectives is ser. So when in doubt, plug a form of ser in, although you might be wrong, because we have different rules for using them. And what I'm going to do is just give you a very basic description of when we use ser with adjectives and when we use estar, and then you can go through the exercises in the book and try to apply them. The kind of the logic behind it, the philosophy is very simple. We use ser with adjectives to express the natural state of something. ¿No? Su característica inherente, its inherent characteristic or quality. That's what we use ser for. So if I say the tree is green, that's its natural or inherent state. That's what it is. If I say Anthony is tall, it's just normal. Those things are always ser. The sky is blue. But if I talk about something and I'm saying that that's not necessarily its natural state, it's an abnormal state, or it is something that's been changed recently, then I use estar. So, let's talk about my house. Let's say it's a white house. I could say, la casa es blanca. Remember, casa is feminine, and blanco has to change to blanca to be feminine. So the house is white. La casa es blanca, right? And that's just, we're just saying what? It's its normal state. But what if I said, la casa está amarilla? I said the house is yellow. But I used está, so what I'm saying is that's not its natural state, so probably the house has been yellowed by the sun, or it's been stained by something. And this is the way we tend to use those two verbs. So when we use a ser with an adjective, we're saying it's your natural, inherent characteristic or quality. And estar, it's a little abnormal or uncharacteristic, or it's a temporary thing. Now, this is one of the most fun things about Spanish that English doesn't have, and it's a real tragedy. So imagine that it's your prom night. Okay? And I'll be the girl. Pull my pants up for this. And you know how the girls are. They come down the stairs and they're so elegant. They're coming down the stairs. And they're so kind of moving down the stairs. They're so beautiful on that night. And the young man comes in. And he looks up the stairs. And we'll say her name is Maria. And he says, Maria, qué bonita estás. Now, what does he just say? Well, in this case, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's probably said, how extraordinarily beautiful you are. It's not that you're normally ugly and tonight you're beautiful, but it's that you're just so elegant because you know how you got that beautiful dress on, you get the whole vibe, the whole thing's going. And that's what he says. Now, that could be a use of that, of estar. Now, normally you say to your girlfriend, qué bonita eres. How beautiful you are. But that one special occasion, you put all those extra clothes and makeup on. You're extraordinarily, so qué hermosa estás. But now imagine me in my wonderful formal attire. Look at the shoes here. And I show up to work tomorrow in a Pierre Cardin starched shirt and a very sober tie, somber-looking suit. And I walk in, and one of you says, "Oh, profesor, qué elegante estás hoy." Now you're making fun of me, right? You're not saying, "Oh, you're really dressed up and snazzy today." You're saying, "Boy, that's a big change. That's not normal. You coming in on a tie and stuff." Now, isn't that cool that just by changing a verb from estar to ser, you can kind of rid people a little bit? Or you can say how extraordinarily great things are, and you didn't have to add a lot of words. You just change the verb. And that'll kind of help you maybe with ser and estar. One last example. And this is the thing that sometimes trips people up. And the rule is don't think, okay? The only time students ever have trouble with this is when they start treating it like philosophy, like to be or not to be. Who the hell am I? No, don't do that, all right? So think of it like this. The water. If I say the water is pure, that's ser, right? That's what it's supposed to be. I know we live with contaminated water, but that's not what it's supposed to be. Natural state of water, good. But if we say the water is contaminated, is that ser or estar? Well, it's estar, you're right. Because the natural state of water is pure, so if I say the water is contaminated, I say el agua está contaminada, because that's not its natural state. Okay, ahora, al ataque, let's go have some fun.